All right, now that we've got the toe stop base completed, we're going to move on to the isometric view of the cleat pin. So the cleat pin is, you've already drawn it in your detailed view, but we know that that is just a couple of cylinders. It's a pin and it has a head on top of it. The total length of this thing is 5.38. So this smaller cylinder here is only a distance of 5, and then the head of it is a 0.38. But the tricky part about this is that the cylinder itself has a chamfer to it. So it's got chamfers on 3 different ends. And so that chamfer, the note that we see in the sketch says 3 times. So it's happening in 3 places, 1, 2, 3. And it says 0.06 by 45 degrees. So that's saying that that angle that it's coming in at a distance of 0.06. So when I'm looking at this overall diameter, it's a diameter of 1.13. If I subtract 0.06 and 0.06, I end up with 1.01, which is the diameter for that smaller part of that chamfer. Same for this 0.50. If I subtract 0.06 from one side, 0.06 from the other side, then I end up with a diameter of, what would that be, 0.38. So we're going to have to use all of the, the calculations that we just talked about to construct the chamfers in that view. But to get started, let's just go ahead and draw a really basic cylinder. Super easy to do. It's a diameter 0.50 and it goes back a depth of 5. So let's come into AutoCAD and let's do that. We're going to do an ISO circle. So ellipse, I for ISO circle, click anywhere to start. F5 to toggle. We need to get our ISO left ISO circle. And diameter 0.5. We're going to copy it back. And we're going to go back. I need to hit F5 to be able to go back there. A distance of 5. And then we'll just draw lines. Connect the dots from quadrant to quadrant. So make sure your quadrant O-snap is on. Oops, let's make sure our quadrants are showing up. There we go. I like to trim as I go. You wouldn't really actually see this little guy back here. So I'm going to trim. There. That is looking good. Now what we need to do, we've got the overall size here, but remember there's that tiny little through hole. It's a 0.12 diameter, but we're going to go look at that sketch sheet to show us how to do that. So we know that we need to come in through here. We're going to draw a line from the center out to the edge of the circle. Wherever that intersection is, we're going to stop and turn it back. If we look at the sketch, that circle starts back at a distance of 0.25. So we'll come back to our drawing. Let's do a line starting at that center of that circle. We're going to come out. If the diameter was 0.50, basically, we need to get to the edge of it. So we're going to type in the radius as 0.25 just to get to the edge of that circle. Then we'll turn it back and we'll go another 0.25. Looks good. Now we can do an ISO circle. And we will start it right here. And it's teeny tiny. Let's make sure we get the F5, we want to get the ISO right circle, and this is going to have D enter 0.12. So it's a tiny little circle. We don't need those lines anymore. Those were just construction lines to get us there. All right, so it's looking good. You've got a basic cylinder with a hole going through it. Now we're going to tackle our first not countersink, oh my gosh, it's our first chamfer. So let's come back over here and move on to the next one. So we're going to draw inside, we've already got this bigger circle, but we're going to draw that smaller circle, and we're going to do it at a diameter of 0.38. Remember we talked about if you have that 0.50, the chamfer comes in 0.06 here, 0.06 there. You subtract those two from 0.50, and that's where you get 0.38. So we're going to come in here. We're going to draw an ISO circle. It's concentric, so we'll start at that same point, F5, D, enter, and we're going to type in 0.38. That looks good. Now, what we need to do is, to make this a chamfer, this bigger one is getting trimmed back. So that actually, we're going to copy it back, that 0.06. So we're going to do, not even copy, we're going to do the move command, select that bigger one, anywhere for a base point. We're just going to go back a set distance. So F5, we'll type in 0.06. Oh, that looks so good. Let's trim out what we don't need. We don't need that line. We don't need that line. And we don't need where it's coming through the center there. So that is it. We just did our first chamfer in isometric. So this is looking good. I would recommend save your work as you go. Now, as far as the head of the cylinder, I can draw it up here in place, or I can draw it off to the side and then move it into place. You guys do whatever you feel comfortable with. I think for the sake of this, just so because you're watching, I don't want to kind of confuse things. So I think I'm going to draw it over here and then move it into place. You are certainly welcome to draw it in place. That's usually how I would do it. So we're going to come over here. Now it's telling us to draw a 1.01 diameter circle. So let's go all the way back up here. Remember, it's a diameter of 1.13, but when you subtract out 0.06 and 0.06, you end up with that 1.01. So that is where we're getting that number. We're going to come over here. I enter for ISO circle, F5, F5 to get an ISO left. And we're going to do a diameter 1.01. Okay, that looks good. We're going to do another diameter. This time we are going to, I for ISO circle. This time we're going to draw that bigger one, just like we did a second ago. We're going to draw the diameter of 1.13. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that back. Actually, I'm not even going to copy. I'm going to move that back. F5, so I can go back here and remember 0.06, that's what our chamfer is. So this looks good. We're going to go ahead and trim, get this little business out of here. So that looks good. That's the front end of the head. When I come back over here, now we need to figure out where to construct the rest of it. So we've got this line and we've got this line, or well, not really lines, they're iso circles, but in this drawing it's a line. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can get this. All right, so we've got this, and then we came back 0.06, we've got this. So from the larger one back, the whole thing is 0.38, but from the larger one back, we're just going to copy this big one back a distance of 0.26. So we'll come over here, we're going to copy this one, the bigger one that we have, anywhere for a base point. We're going to go back, what was it, 0.26? Trim as you go. Oh my gosh, I love to trim as I go. I would get so confused here if I didn't. So this looks good. Now we actually have a straight line right here. So we're going to go ahead and draw in our straight line. Remember, quadrant to quadrant. We're going to trim out what we don't need. Okay, that looks good. We are almost done with this. The last thing that we have, we're going to take this. I think if I were to copy this back, remember the total distance of this thing is 0.38. I think I'm going to see like a little tiny little bit peeking out here. So let's try that and see if I have it. I'm going to take my smallest one that I started with, do the copy command, and I'm going to pull it back. And remember, I always exaggerate how far I pull it back so that my O-snaps don't get me. I'm going to type in 0.38, and look at that. It's the tiniest little thing peeking through there, but it really is there. So we'll go ahead and trim this just until you see that tiny piece back there. See how small that is? But it's there. All right, now that I've got that head done, I can move it into place. You could have drawn it, like I said, you could have drawn it in place, but for the sake of this, I'm going to take it at the closest in one there. For the sake of this, I just felt like it was easier to show you off to the side. We're going to come in here, trim that out, and oh my goodness, that's it. That is a really cute looking pin. We've got it. It's done. 3 different chamfers, a through hole, 2 different cylinders. So it is looking good. We are done with the cleat pin. The next thing that we're going to do in the next video, we're going to move on to the cleat itself. So we'll probably do a couple of videos to get that cleat drawn.